Hello, everybody. How you doing today?
Hi,
Welcome to
AJ.
the war. What?
Said hi, AJ.
Hi, Jordan. Welcome to the Warhammer Enjoyers podcast channel, whatever you want to call this. Today, we are going to be talking about the Legends of 40K. So, quickly to kind of summarize what legends are, the legends are items that do not get any updates anymore. They usually aren't being produced by GW anymore either. Um, Typically these are, are on PDFs on GW's website, and they are completely free for everybody to like use, see, and can supplement at any time for their games and for their factions. And to be a little bit more specific here, with Horus Heresy items, they can go with any Space Marine faction, including Chaos factions. If you want to bring in a Chaos faction, you would just have to, or the Horus Heresy item for your Chaos armies, you just have to proxy your core rule with it, and then just your core ability with that army. So Legends items in general are just items that are not being updated, changed, and they are out there for everybody to use for free. But again, we mentioned Horus Heresy. I'm a big fan of Horus Heresy, so we're going to cover
Really?
some Really? I know, it's shocking, but I love it. I gas it up. So, we're going to talk a little bit about some stuff. First off, my favorite little egg-shaped dreadnought of all time, the Contemptor Dread. So the Relic Contemptor Dreadnought is 180 points. It has 9 toughness, 10 wounds, a 2+ save, and a 5+ invul save. Now, I will say I don't necessarily think it's the best, but I think for what you're getting for 180 points, it has some decent legs to stand on because you're getting things like that's presented here, like the conversion beam or the Kyrus Pattern Assault Cannon, which has dev wounds. And you can have 2 of these at the same time if you want like a completely ranged dreadnought. Or if you want some melee in there, you can have double melee and get some dreadnought chain fists to become a real big vehicle killer. Coming in with 4 attacks for the chain fist with 12 strength and -2 AP, 3 damage. That can be some pretty massive, like, that could be some pretty good damage right there to a nice vehicle because with 12 strength, you really punch it through with some of the bigger vehicles. And with 3 damage, you can do a lot of wounds to them. But if you don't want to do the vehicles with the anti 3 vehicle, you can just do the regular dreadnought combat weapon with just the fist, which comes with an extra attack.
How many
But
combi
if you do the
bolters
fist,
does this thing get?
this is actually that's I'm glad you asked because the it comes with every dreadnought combat weapon. So if you want to do the dreadnought chain fist, you also get a combi bolter on top of that.
What the fuck?
But yeah, it's in
Bro,
its
this thing's
hand.
pretty kitted out.
Exactly. Plus, you can give them multi meltas as well, twin heavy bolters, twin last cannons, and all, and also like a heavy flamer. So you can add a lot to here and this gives you a lot of options to use this with. And mind you, also Jordan, for you, you can give this Nurgle's aura,
I don't think
which
that's how
I
that
think is
works,
fun
but
to. What?
I don't think that's how that works.
Yeah, it is.
I'm pretty
You can
sure
give it your faction
for
ability.
yeah, but it has to have the Death Guard. Pretty sure it has to have like Heretic Astartes in the keyword.
Yeah, they change.
You sure?
Yeah.
All
Why
right.
else would I bring this up here? That's why I
Okay.
said earlier.
Okay.
Every everything that has chaos gets their, changes their faction keyword
It,
to whatever faction they are, and then gets the faction, ability.
okay.
Now,
You're
I also
being
picked this.
straight up with me right now. Even though
I'm
this
being
thing
straight
has
up
the
with you.
faction keyword Adeptus Astartes.
Well,
Of
that's because this is the one that's the standard one that's expected for people to use. But again, you could bring other items. That's why I have the Kratos battle tank
okay.
as for my Night Lords army, for my Chaos Space Marine army. Because even though that's Heretic Astartes,
Okay.
I could still use it. But I also picked this item because I love his kind of ability that even in death I serve. It's kind of like what I want for like a little bit of a fun but kind of goofy rule. Because the rule here is stated the first time this model is destroyed, remove it from play without resolving its deadly demise ability. At the end of the phase, roll a d6. On a 2 plus, set the model back up on the battlefield as close as possible to where it was destroyed and not within engagement range, and then roll a d6 with wounds remaining. So you could essentially bring this thing back up after it died with 6 wounds. Which, maybe not great, I still think is kind of fun to have as an ability. I mean, I'm not sure how useful it is, because if you get a 1, you have 1 wound left, and
This
you
is
just brought it
insane.
back.
You're essentially playing with a unit with 20 wounds though. It's a 2 up. You're making that roll.
That's true.
This is essentially a model with 20 wounds for
Yeah,
180 points, 2 up save, 5 up invul, T9. That's pretty creamy.
plus again, it's got some decent weapons on it. Again, I personally like the Curious Pattern Assault Cannon for this for 40k. Because you're getting 6 attacks, strength 7, -1 AP, 1 damage, which maybe is not great, but with dev wounds and with 6 attacks, you're getting some you could get some decent damage in here. But even if you don't like that, if you want some damage control, you can always use the heavy plasma cannon, get some D3s in there. It could also be very good. But
This is
enough
pretty.
about the
This is pretty bumping.
yeah.
Give me a
Yeah, I
Dreadnought
think
Chain Fist, then give me the Cyclone Missile Launcher, and I'll
Oh
run
yeah,
that
Cyclone
baby
Missile
out there.
Launcher.
Yeah,
I should also mention
that's pretty
Cyclone Missile
brutal.
Launcher can go on any of the dreadnoughts like abilities, doesn't matter. So you can get that with, whatever range weapon and then the melee weapon. And then you have a kitted out Dreadnought for 180 points. But it's not just about the Dreadnoughts. I want to also show you this, the Spartan Assault Tank. Now, the Spartan Assault Tank is kind of expensive. It's 315 points, but it is basically a souped up Land Raider. So for me and you, the Land Raider is typically around 240 points.
Okay.
And it can do some decent damage and could carry a decent amount of infantry models, right?
Yep.
But with the land or with the Spartan assault tank, right, you can carry 28 infantry.
28. What the fuck?
Yeah, and I
That's
I thought this through
insane.
with for you, Jordan, just because I care about you. You could technically pair this up with 10 plague marines,
Yep.
6 light lord terminators, and typhus in here, and still have room for more.
That's insane. Yeah, this
But
is this is
it's
just a this is just a Land Raider on steroids, essentially, right?
essentially because you can equip this thing here with either 2 quad las cannons, which equates to a total of 8 attacks with las cannons, which is
Mm-hmm.
strength 12, -3 AP, and then D6 plus 1 damage, which again nasty. Or you can give it 2 laser destroyers, which I think would be better here, which even though is a little bit less range, you're getting and a little bit less attacks with only 6, you're getting strength 4, AP -4, D6 plus 1,
True. A little bit more
which
strength, a little bit more AP.
mhm. And of course you can give it either the heavy bolter or the heavy flamer. And then you can give it on top either a storm bolter, a multi-melter, or a heavy flamer. And just like every other Land Raider, it has the Assault Ramp ability, allowing your units to make a normal move when it was and declare a charge that turn. Which
Yep.
again, I think is very fun, and I find this is like could be a unit that you could use if you're like if you really don't want to bring other transport, but you have a lot of infantry here, because getting 28 for a capacity is a high number here for just something that's 315 points, at least in my opinion. I don't know. What Jordan thoughts?
You put me on the spot here. My thinking is so all over the place. Um,
Yeah.
I think it's very interesting. That's a 315 points. Normally with Death Guard, I'm bringing two Rhinos, which is 160. But
Mhm.
this thing's also 18 wounds, 2 up save, T12 with a lot of fucking firepower on it. So I kind of just view this. It's either like I see this as like a knight that can transport shit, or like two war dogs that can transport stuff. And if I would rather have two war dogs instead of this, I'd probably go with this. I'd probably run quad laser cannons instead of the laser destroy. What does the heavy keyword do? Is that the plus one
Y-
to hit?
Yeah, yes. Yes, I think it's +1 to hit.
I think I would
Pretty
still
sure it's
run. I think I'd still run quad las cannon just because due to Death Guard's aura, everything that's T12 would be down to T11. EP -3. Yeah, I would. I think I'd actually run this. Because I could fit fucking um. Oh wow, this is so fun actually, AJ. Um,
yeah.
I can run Plague Marines as 7-mans, so I can fit four 7-mans in this thing. That's
You could.
Yeah, I could fit four 7-mans in this thing.
I want you. I mean, isn't that kind of like a wild number for especially for you? Because you're essentially bringing 4 squads in this one thing.
Yeah. And
And though, hey,
this thing isn't gonna get blown up like a rhino or anything like that.
no, and again, it has 12 toughness, 18 wounds, so it's a little beefy. I mean, obviously, like it's not the beefiest, but I still think it's very solid.
No, this is pretty nasty because it's also a 3-inch disembark, and I get the normal move afterwards, so I have a
Hmm.
5-inch movement off this thing, which can set up for charges really nicely. Solid,
Exactly.
solid unit. When my next paycheck comes, I will skip paying off my credit card debt and get the Spartan assault tank. What do you got
We
next
need.
for me, AJ?
We're gonna go with the big bad new tank of Horus Heresy 3.0, the Fell
The one that
Blade.
AJ's been creaming over the last couple of weeks.
Listen. You're absolutely right, but you can't judge me because like Iron Warriors, Iron Within, Iron Without, cool in this paint job with the Fell Blade. This one, I think could actually be nice, like especially up against like knights and maybe even like a titan, because even though it's 530 points, which is expensive, do not get me wrong, you're dealing a lot of damage because this thing is essentially the Bane Blade for all of the Space Marine stuff. Because if you want to take a look at some of the ranged weapons here, you're getting the Demolisher Cannon with Blast, which gives you D6 plus 3 attacks, 14 strength, minus 3 D6 damage. Then you're getting the Accelerator Cannons here, which either you can get another, like, 2 attacks with 14 strength, or again, you get another, like, attack that gives you Blast yet again with 2d6. And mind you, even if we want to do just the 2 attacks, which doesn't sound great, you're getting 6 damage per each of those attacks. If you land even one of those, you're taking a massive hit. You're getting heavy bolters, you're getting heavy flamers, you're getting, again, the laser destroyers, which I like. You can give it a multi-melta on top. You give it the quad las cannons that you like so much, Jordan. Storm bolters, twin heavy bolters, or twin heavy flamers. Which again, I like how all this sounds. I like how much guns are on this thing, and if you really wanted to take something out, you realistically could. Because you have 4 attacks here that do above 10 strength for its damage here. And each one of those attacks has at least 6, like as a bear, or like as the most for all the damage here.
Yeah,
Which I think,
I think
yeah.
the profile on this is pretty nice too. Cause I was kind of like looking at this and I was like, okay, so its big hitting is pretty good, but I'm not a fan of stone bolters. I'm not a fan of twin heavy bolters. But
Right.
this thing is T13. Correct me if
T13.
I am wrong, but I
Yeah.
don't think there's much shit. Like I know Angron's melee's 14. I know Hunter Killer missiles are 14. But I don't think there's much in 40k that is actually above 13. Well, I don't know anything at strength 13, but like strength 14 is hard to come by in normal 40k. So you are constantly wounding this thing on fives, which adds a lot to the survivability. I think this is a fun centerpiece model for people who like big scary tanks. That's all I gotta say. I think this is and getting the benefit of cover for being behind this thing is thematic as fuck. So beautiful.
Besides that as well, I like his ability as well because you get the benefit of cover pretty much regardless like of where you are on the field as long as like you are in like some slight cover because this thing can give you like as long as like one item is not seeing this thing, you get benefit of cover,
Hmm.
which I think is something really kind of nice for this thing because even though it doesn't have like an invo save, with that benefit of cover, you get a little bit of a small blanket of security for
I
this.
think you're
And
misreading
again,
it wrong. This thing doesn't get benefit of cover. It gives allied units benefit of cover.
you're right. Sorry, you are
You're
correct.
okay.
You are- Yeah,
Yeah, no invul save on this is interesting, but
yeah, it's a
I think being T13 is gonna just like mitigate a
yeah that
bunch
helps
of damage
out
that
a
comes after
lot.
this.
Yeah, and again, of course, like having OC8 as well as like 24 wounds, this thing is gonna kind of like stay on the board for a while. But the next thing here, we're actually gonna get into proper 40k legends items, and not just Horus Heresy here now. We're gonna get into the Chaplain Dreadnought. So the Chaplain, I picked the Chaplain Venerable Dreadnought because I kind of want more unique Dreadnoughts to kind of come back in 40k because right now, for at least for Space Marines, we got Redemptor Dreadnought variables, and each one of them is either the all melee one, the all uh like a mixed one, or the all shooty one. And though those are fine, it's rather dull and boring. So I want some stuff with some variety. So getting something like a Chaplain Dreadnought back in 40k would be kind of cool. I will admit this thing doesn't really have much that interests me when it comes to its range profile, but I still think it's very decent for what it like a model it is. And I
How much is
really put it on
a
here because
how
I
much is
like
a
the model.
how
Yeah.
much is a normal dreadnought?
Depends on which one. What you mean is normal? If you're talking
Like a
about like
brutalis or
a brutalis is 160. A redemptor is 210.
okay, so it's
The
cheaper than
ballist,
those. Okay.
yeah, the ballistus is 140.
All right.
This and a regular dreadnought, which is kind of what this is based off of, is is 125? No, 135.
Okay.
And I bring this up just because like this is a set, it has this almost the same exact like damage characteristics as like some of the other stuff. The only difference is that this gives the heavy plasma cannon where the regular dreadnought does not get the oh wait, no, I lied. The heavy plasma cannon is in this. So you're essentially getting this for what would be 20 or for 15 more points because of that invul save and because of its ability. Which again, don't get me wrong, this is fine. This is okay. I just think again I really picked this just because I like the model
Yeah,
and I
let's
kind
trip
of
the
want
fuck
more.
out.
Yeah, and I kind of want more like unique models back in 40k, especially for when it's dreadnoughts. But yeah, Jordan, thoughts with the Chaplain Venerable Dreadnought?
Can't wait to blow them up.
Yeah, that sounds about right for you. Okay, now you might actually like this, the Land Raider Excelsior. Again, this is just a Land Raider for, what you would normally expect here. It has some different range abilities. You can give it a grav cannon. You can give it I think you can give it a combi weapon as well, so then you could do some anti-infantry damage. The only reason why I really picked it is because this thing essentially acts like a commander or like a captain because you get the rights of battle ability on top of the assault ramp ability, where you can target this item with a stratagem and it doesn't cost you any command points. And on top of that, this is, I think, one of the only dreadnoughts if that has an invul save on it.
You mean Land Raiders?
So yeah, sorry. Yeah, a
Yeah,
land
I think
raider
you're
that
right.
only has.
Yeah, I think you are actually right. This thing does have a 5-up invul on it. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, and so I again, I think it's nice. I think it's decent. I don't think it's worth it though. This is like one of the things where I was like kind of picked it because I thought it was unique, but this thing really doesn't have much of sand on, especially with its points. Because for 310, you might as well wait like see if you can squeeze out 5 more points and get like the Spartan that we talked about earlier here, because this doesn't really have much else to like add on to it. And it only can carry 12, which is 2 less than the normal one here.
I could think of some Mimi shit to do with this though.
Oh, you could definitely do.
Mortarian's hammer, the move through a wall thing,
Mhm.
and just oh wait, never mind. You could probably like I think you can double Overwatch a unit with this, which would be kind of funny. Um, yeah, this is a bit overpriced. It's cool. It's dripped the fuck out though. A little overpriced
Oh
though.
yeah. Yeah, it's definitely like dripped. It's great. Like, and like how it looks, I think it though, yeah, it's a bit overpriced. Now the Kiestis Assault Ram. This thing is, again, I picked it just because it was kind of goofy looking and I liked it. This is a troop transport that can you can actually
Whoa,
move like
whoa, 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 whoa,
super
whoa,
fast.
whoa, 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 whoa. You trying to get me to buy a fly unit in 10th edition, my brother? You're out of your
Yeah, I know.
mind. You are out of your mind, bro. I'm just kidding.
Listen, let's be fair here.
Just kidding.
Everything with a fly keyword is probably going into Legends next edition, so you might as well
Might
jump
as
on
well
the
just
boat.
get it now.
Yeah, you might as well.
Yeah.
Now, I kind of picked this because I like the idea that this thing can move as fast as it can and kind of drop off units, because you could bring in like again a 10-man squad of like Hellblasters or like Assault Intercessors or Stern Guard or whatever kind of Space Marine you want with this thing, and just quickly drop it off. And when you drop these guys off, you activate its ability. So like when these units disembark before it moves, until the end of that turn, that unit is eligible to charge in a turn in which it advanced. So you can make your guys move real fast with this assault ram, which I really kind of like how that is. I will say though, otherwise you're kind of stretching for what you can do with this thing, because even though it has a lot of wounds,
I think you're smoking crack. I think this thing is a diamond in the rough.
you think that,
No, 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 no. Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out.
yeah,
12 transport capacity, right? I'm
yeah,
shoving 6 Death Shroud in this thing. This thing is moving 21 inches. Death Shroud disembark. Um, oh, wait a minute.
yeah. Did you realize that this was for the Space Marines and only for the Space Marines, and now your plan is just
No,
oof
then why the fuck did you say I could bring like Land Raiders and stuff if it's only for the Space Marines then?
for the Horus Heresy items.
Oh, boo! I wanted to
You
no,
got
cause no, you put Death Shroud in this thing, 21 inches. It doesn't have the assault keyword though, which is weird. So if it disembarks, oh, so it disembarks. Okay, so 21-inch
yeah.
move, you have it sit, dump all of his weapons. By the way, 2d6 plus blast, strength 6, AP minus 1 damage, pretty nasty. The twin Melta with Melta 4 twin linked with 18 range, so a 9-inch for Melta 4 is fucking disgusting. So you
That's true. That is
so
actually
you
pretty
dump
good.
your load into something. Um, Death Shroud disembark. Death Shroud move 4, 6-inch like run like advance, 10-inch. The Death Shroud have an 18-inch threat range, and this thing is just goaded because when it charges, it gets lanced on its melee weapons. Yeah, this blows. Sucks that I can't take it as Death Guard. Disappointing. 0 out of 10
Yeah,
model.
no.
0 out of 10 model. Get it out of here.
Okay, now we actually now we get into a little bit of a goofier model and
The
something out
fuck
of
are
Space
these
Marines
bros?
for anybody who doesn't want to see Space Marine stuff. We got to the Sisters of Battle, the Death Cult
Oh, these are,
Assassins.
dude. I did not look at the tags. We did some editing before we recorded this, dude. I dead ass thought these were corn units. I
No,
thought these were corn units. I didn't even look at. I just saw Death Cult Assassins. Um, saw all the blood, and I was like, yeah, these are just like corn units with precision, which are pretty sick. No, these are for the Adeptus Sororitas. That is crazy.
I kind of picked these ones out of like anything just because these were I kind of find like this idea unique a little bit because you're getting sisters models, which is just normal humans, right? With even though two wounds, they're getting an invul save of 5 with precision weapons here, and like you can reroll wounds when you target a character, so you can like throw like 2 or 4 of these at like a character with the infiltrator's key ability
Yeah, he's
and
got
lone op
infiltrate, lone
ability.
op. Oh, that's pretty.
So, I mean, I won't pretend these are good for anything else. And if they can't get into fighting range, which, mind you, they don't have much strength either. These are strength 4. But, like, if
Oh
you want to
yeah,
go up,
these are kind
yeah,
of underpowered.
they're a little underpowered. But I like the idea of these, though. If these had, I don't know, maybe a little bit more strength, like maybe strength 5 or even 6, but 6 would be pushing it, I feel like, for sisters models, maybe. I think this could be really viable because getting that strength 6 with -2 AP could do a heck of a lot of damage for some of this stuff here. And again, getting that ability to reroll the wound rolls and with lone op and infiltrators, these would be a strong contender as like a good good assassins for your Sisters of Army battle.
Yep.
Again, I think these have a lot of potential, and if GW ever decided to be like, yeah, we're gonna re-release Death Cult Assassins, and we're gonna put these as like proper units, I think people would actually buy these because I could see potential with it. Jordan, thoughts?
You literally said I have nothing to say except for rehash all your stuff.
Yeah,
Let's get the toughness up to like uh 4.
I think the toughness
No,
is
well they're
fine for
humans
what
because
they
Space
are.
Marine. It just make these things have more strength, more AP, more damage. Um, Other than that, yeah, they're just a little underpowered. But
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
you talk you hit it right on the
oop,
head.
yeah. So, okay. Well, now we get on to the Mechanicus, the Adeptus Mechanicus. And we're going to go with an actually non Mechanicus member, a servitor, the X101. Now, the X101 here that we have presented is actually painted up by a Redditor that I found called Red Zero Loveron. We're going to have a link for him in the description. Now,
Absolutely.
now the XO1 is kind of interesting, at least for me. Not because of like the weapons loadout, because even though you get a grav gun, which gives you anti-vehicle 4, and it's decent, and again, decent melee as well. I find it interesting because of its abilities that you get for 40 points.
I was just kind of funky. These are just like Death Shroud bodyguards for Typhus.
That was my thought process exactly.
Yeah.
Because this thing can go with any sort of like like tech priest, and it becomes a bodyguard unit regardless like of what tech priest infantry model is there. So if and that bodyguard starting strength is increased accordingly. So if let's like set this up in the battle formation step, and that you place this model in, and it's got to be led by a tech priest infantry, it's the model counts as being part of the bodyguard unit, and the bodyguard unit's starting strength is increased accordingly.
Pretty sure that's just a core
So
rule, AJ.
that is a
That
core rule,
that
but
is
I
that
wanted
is
to
that is
explain
how
it,
you.
and yeah, but I explained it terribly.
I know. AJ, our audience has been playing this longer than we've been alive.
Oh yeah, probably.
No, this is pretty a nutty. This is kind of a nutty model.
Yeah, you give your
Well,
tech
because look
priest
at the
like a
you
feel no
you.
pain.
How many of these can you run in a brick? I
This
don't.
is sadly this is a one man thing,
Oh, it
but I don't.
is. Oh, okay, okay.
So
Because
it's
I was gonna
40
be like, I
points
was
for
like, you
this.
get like 10 of these things. No, this is
Oh, if you could get 10 of these, it would be
Yeah, I
gnarly.
was like, oh, run this as like a brick at 10, bro. Because when it's attached, it's hitting on twos, wounding on
Hmm.
whatever. No, bring these back. I
Besides,
don't know why the fuck these were ever put in the legends. Just give it to like one of your tech
I
priests so they can like walk up the
yeah,
board
because
more.
I feel like yeah, it's a little disappointing because like you could one up your ballistic skills and your weapon characteristic skills for like your tech priest. And again, your tech priest like gets that 5+ feel no pain, which I think is again really good, like for what it is. I don't know. I feel like again, this is one of those things where I'm like, hey, kind of bring it back. See what you can do with this. I want to see what's like GW can do. You know
Yeah, let me attach this to Bersala's call. Let me do it. Let me
exactly.
do it.
Let me do it. Now we go on to the Astra Militarium or the Guard.
The fuck
So
are
we're gonna
these
start off.
losers? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I was just kidding.
Okay, so we're gonna start off with the Quartermaster Cadre Squad. So these models, again, I found interesting because I kind of like group models and command squads like this. I find them interesting. So whenever I see them, I kind of like always am drawn to it. It has some interesting abilities. It's not super special, but I still think it's something kind of unique with it. Again, you get a feel like you get the feel no pain 5+ ability. You get four core key members here, or actually no, five core key members here, and overall it looks like it's cool when you set it up because it looks like a scene's being played out, and I thought again seeing that was something very cool.
Yeah,
I will say
it's just a. Is this a kill team or is this just?
no, this was a model. This was
Yeah,
a
this is
box of
really
models when
interesting.
you
It,
could buy.
it does look like a scene being played out, and that's really. I really enjoy that. That's
Hmm.
beautiful. Like actually, it's really fun. Cause
Yeah,
I was looking at the profile for this, and
yeah. The profile is not
this is
super.
rough, bro.
Yeah,
This is pretty
this is
rough.
more or less like if you were to get this or somehow find this, you're gonna be more using this for an art piece than an actual running model. And yes, though you get 4 Medicaid servitors, and say what you will, you improve the weapon characteristic of this unit's scalpels by 1. Uh you're not getting much else with this model. Like this isn't a super tough model. This isn't something that moves super fast. You're essentially getting something here that is okay. I'll say like you're getting this more or less because you want to have an art piece.
And damn straight, I'll spend 45 points to style on my opponent.
You might as well, because what else are we doing this for if not to style on people?
Absolutely.
Now we go on to another, Death Corps of Krieg model, the Death Rider Commissar. Now, the Death Rider Commissar model here, we have one that's natural here, and then we have one painted by Dark
Sorry.
Odyssey
Uh,
Arts.
say the artist again. Sorry, I was laughing because I was like, I read the rules. Sorry, please credit the artist again.
No, 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 no. Give your thoughts.
Um, I'm pretty sure this unit got I, nothing. Just
Yeah.
I haven't I don't know why this unit would get sent back to Legends, but I'm pretty sure at damn, we should have figured out when these got sent to Legends because I'm pretty sure I've heard stories of people at our Warhammer store talking about how you used to shoot your own Krieg units and then use the strategic reserves and bring them back, and this was the model to do it with.
That wouldn't surprise me for
That
a
is
second if
so
this was
sick,
that
dude. Once
model.
per battle round at the start of any phase, you can select one friendly Astra Militarum infantry or Astra Militarum mounted unit that is battle shocked within 12 inches of this model. If you do, one model in that unit is destroyed and that unit is no longer battle shocked. That is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Please do credit the
Uh,
artist again, though. I don't want to
yes,
disrespect
no,
them.
no worries. So the painted model here that we see is from Dark Odyssey Arts, also on Reddit. I wanted to thank them for the painted model because I feel like it's hard to really show like what this could look like as this kind of gray blob. But I see, again, I think it's a really kind of cool model. And yeah, the ability goofy as all hell. And I kind of like it for that ability.
Yeah, because that's fucking
I will.
guard, bro. You hear all the memes, all the stories of commissars shooting guardsmen, and here's the model that does it. I like it.
Hmm. Absolutely true. And I have to imagine this was, you know, put like, into Legends recently, just because it has the Lord Solar Leontis like as one of its leader abilities that it can follow. And Lord Solar Leontis was a very recent model that came out. Was it last
Oh,
edition?
really?
Yeah. So this
Oh.
must have been sent to Legends like rather
I wonder
recently.
if they got sent to Legends in 10th.
Probably. I didn't, admittedly, this is on my fault here. I didn't look when this stuff got sent to Legends or not,
That's
so
okay. We
that's on
got
me.
plenty more units to talk about, AJ, so we could do our research the next time. Because I would actually
Oh
like to help you with
yeah.
this, because this is just a fun unit. This is just fun,
And that's
like
kind of
especially with like the new Death Riders.
hmm
But it's also fun because guard units that are battle shocked can't do the take orders stuff, so they can't
mhm,
improve their shootings, they can't get down and cover. So this is like a way for you to like take a penalty but also still like do what your army does. This is this is
absolutely.
really fun. This is a fun ass model. I don't know why they sent this to Legends.
I don't know either. I don't know, but to be fair, like for me, like that's kind of why I wanted to make this because I like fun, goofy rules. And that's kind of something that draws me to AOS more, and I kind of wish like some of this stuff was more in 40K, so I figured, hey, why not look at Legends and see what Legends could bring. But on to our next one. We finally move out of, well, no, actually we don't move out of the Imperium yet, because we get to the Inquisitor Terminator. So I want to point out that
What the
this model
fuck is that model, dude?
is from Rogue Trader. So we are talking about like early Warhammer old.
40 years ago. 40 years ago.
Yeah, this is old Hammer right here. This model, I wanted to just pick this because this is one of the oldest ones, and that's pretty much the reason why I picked it. I will say it can lead pretty much everything in Agents of the Imperium. I don't know what it couldn't lead, but again, I really picked this model just because of the age and what this kind of represents. Because this is one of those ones that's made out of metal and everything like that. So, like, again, really shows its age. But I still think it's one of those goofy fun models that like if you see you kind of want to pick up and just like really inspect it and be like, whoa. But yeah, so the range weapons, you get a combi weapon, you get your psychic attacks, your two psychic attacks, and then a storm bolter. And then with its melee, you get either a force weapon or the inquisitorial melee weapon, which I'm assuming is that little knife that's on his like belly, leg, chest. I'm not sure what Jordan. Where do you think that knife is on him? Like realistically.
Um, it's on in the front of him.
Yeah, I know I see that, but that knife has to be like huge
Yeah,
because it takes up his whole entire
yeah, you're right.
body.
That knife's got to be absolutely massive. Holy shit.
Mm-hmm. But no, I thought it was. I kind of thought it was neat, just as is. The rules are decent for him. I don't think they're anything special though.
Yeah, given the unit a
Each
six
time,
up, feel no pain or 6 up anyway,
yeah.
it's pretty nice.
Mm-hmm. Again, I picked it because it's one of those old Warhammer models, the old Hammer models that I think are really cool. And I think it's just goofy that they still have rules for this thing because it's an Inquisitor and Terminator armor. That's not a thing anymore. That's not even an idea that's supported. I don't even think anywhere in the canon, but it's just somewhere where they were like, Rogue Trader, here's a
No,
funny
there's
idea.
that one model that recently got remade, the guy with the eagle. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Cortez is in Terminator armor?
Oh, he's in normal
Is he?
power armor. No, he's in power armor. Oh yeah, I guess because
Yeah,
this is in Terminator armor.
yeah,
Shit. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, you just do not fucking see this anymore. Oh, too bad
No,
it's in Agents of the Imperium, a faction that absolutely no one fucking plays.
it really sucks.
I don't even think that's an army anymore. I think that's just an index at this point.
No, it has its own codex,
Well, I'll go to the
and
store tomorrow and go
no,
buy that.
yeah, nobody's happy about it. Nobody's happy where it is. But it doesn't really matter because they also took all the best models, like Inquisitor Eisenhorn, who came out in 2018. This
Oh, he has a new
brand new
idol. Oh, that's
model.
fucking sick.
Yeah, I love this model, and it kind of almost convinced me to just to pick it up on its own back in like late ninth edition because I was thinking like, oh, I can put this as an ally in Space Marines or whatever. Because I like how this model is, and I like how he's represented. And but now I don't. I mean, maybe you can. No, you can't because it's not even. Well, yeah, I guess you could put it in there. Or at least I think you can, because you can put Imperial agents as an allied
Yep.
unit,
I
but
think
it's
you
not.
can run this.
Yeah, I think you could. But it's weird that this is in an allied unit when there's older models in the Imperial agents like Codex that are still being ran as like viable, and this got sent to Legends.
Mm-hmm.
But
Was
again,
this
we
was this
got
on a limited release?
no. You could still buy this on the GW website.
Wait, then why? That's so. Because that's my first thought was like, because there's like that like
Limited release, right?
did like yeah, I thought it was like a limited release, like it came out with the book. So then why the fuck did this go to Legends?
Your question is as good as mine.
This thing is kind of
Because,
like okay, yeah, toughness 3, okay, but oh, okay, no
yeah,
low
4+,
op, no low op,
yeah.
kind of
You get a
blends.
feel no pain of 6,
So
though.
it's a 5 up
And then you get a
invul with a
4+
6 up feel
save,
no
5+
pain.
impulse save,
Yeah.
feel no pain 6, yeah.
I don't know. The mind
I mean,
assault is pretty fucking sick.
yeah, no, the Mind Assault is
Precision with
very
div
nice.
wounds is gross.
Yeah, and plus sustained hits 1 there, too. So you could add on to your hits or your attacks right there. I think it's real good, like, for that. And I think it's kind of cool. It has some cool abilities that you could do, like the malicious codicium or malice codicium. While this model is leading a unit, double the attacks characteristics of melee weapons equipped by the demon host models in that unit. So if you run this with the demon host, you can double the attacks of the melee weapons for the demon host, which I kind of think is neat. I think that's fun. And then dominate will at the start of your opponent's shooting phase. Select one enemy infantry unit that is 12 inches and visible to this model. Roll a d6 on a 1 that suffers d3 mortal wounds. On 2 and 5, unit at the end of the phase, each time a model in that unit makes an attack, subtract 1 from the hit roll. And on a d6 until the end of that phase, that unit is not eligible to shoot.
That's
Again,
pretty sick.
I think that's a fun and kind of goofy rule
That's
too, which I like.
that's the old Lord Discordant ability for vehicles. You would be able to get
Yep.
them to stop shooting. I think that's fun.
Yeah, no,
I think this is
I
a
think this is
fun
a
little unit, and it's really a shame to see this go into Legends.
it really is, and I still don't understand why it did. Because again, it's a new model. It's being sold currently on GW's website, which kind of goes up against like one of the rules that I stated because these aren't like most of these aren't produced anymore, except this one. And kind of ashamed that this got sent to Legends. I don't know. If you want to pick this up, I recommend just because it's a really great model and it's 65 points. So if you want to run it as an ally, you could. And if you don't really want to, again, really cool model. So if you people want to pick it up, try it. Next, we have Xenos. We get to the Eldari. And we got and I picked the Vampire Hunter because this is one of the few like Xenos things that I picked that had the Titanic keyword. And this is the only one on the list here that is actually Titanic. So this is an Eldari flight flyer, and It's I like how it looks. I don't think it's great though for 460 points. Because even though you're moving 21 inches with like 12 toughness and 30 wounds, this thing doesn't have a whole lot to hang on to because you're getting, two of these twin pulse lasers, which is 9 strength, and then one of these twin vampire pulsars, and that's it. You're getting a total of like what, 12,
All right,
15
this thing
attacks?
might be a little overpriced, but this thing's kind of nutty though.
Oh, it's
60
nutty.
inches for the pulsar attacks.
Yeah, no.
Because
This
I
is still
think
a
I don't know flying rules because they're so fucking irrelevant in this game, but I'm pretty sure you can just
yeah.
hover with this thing, so you don't have to move with it. But then you're basically spending 500 points for 6 attacks, hitting on 3, strength 12, AP minus 3, 4 damage. And even as I say that out loud, that doesn't sound really good. But like 30 wounds, T12.
30 wounds is nice. With also the 4+ invul save, I think that's nice. And again, you can kind of see in the core like abilities, it does have hover. So you do have something with hover. I'm just saying though, is that I think it could be beefier with the range weapons, or it could have been beefier with the range weapons before it got sent to Legends. But, that's just my silly little opinion because I fucking hate Eldar. They can eat my ass.
Whoa, calm down there, Xeno hater.
Listen, they know what they did,
What they do, AJ?
but I'm a Night Lords fan. Everybody who's read the Night Lords trilogy knows what they've done.
I haven't gotten there yet.
Well, read the books. Jordan, read the
I'm working
books.
on it.
You better. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe we have differing opinions. I think it's decent, but like I say that this is okay on the lower end. Maybe it would have been better if it had like some OC. Mind you, this is a flyer, so it's not gonna have OC, but I don't know. You're not doing much damage for something that's gonna be moving around like the battlefield, like zooming around. So, eh? I don't know. At least that's my opinion, Jordan. You obviously
If this
disagree,
had
but
some
that's
like
fine.
troop transport, maybe it'd be worth the 460 point cost. But scattered laser having no AP on it kind of blows. Um, this just seems
Yeah,
like a really expensive anti-tank option. Um,
it doesn't
I
even
don't
have.
I don't well or sorry anti-vehicle.
It is anti-vehicle,
Well, it's because it's
and
got monster and vehicle. Oh, it's not even for
yeah,
wounding though. It's just a damage roll. This just feels like really. Oh, what the fuck? So it only
and that's the
affects the
thing
twin
too
pulse
is that
lever.
it
Yeah, this is
only
just kind of
yeah
gross, bro.
yeah,
It's
and it
kind of
only really
dookie.
works too for that. Like each time a range attack made by this like model, that's only for the twin pulse laser.
Yeah.
So like you get 6 attacks with that, and yes, you can reroll the d6 damage. So then you don't have to have one as like your only thing. But again, that essentially means that you have a chance to get like twos and threes and like up like that on your second time around, maybe. But again, that's not something super with this thing. Hmm. Could be better,
Could be
at least in
better.
my opinion. Yeah. Now we get to Prince Uriel. Now I actually really like Prince Uriel's model. I think like even though it's fine cast and it's like kind of that goofy little thing, I think it's still good looking.
I bet he got a bussy on him.
Of course, you think that with the Eldar. Of course. Eh,
You just
okay,
what?
I'm gonna ignore that. So Prince Uriel is like what I don't know. I like him because he's a Corsair and a little bit of a lore dump. Jordan, Corsairs are like the pirating faction for the Eldar.
Okay. Kind of like the
So
raiders that you. Okay.
yes, I think I don't know. I always like that stuff, and I think that's like kind of the cooler part of the Eldar versus like the we have to save ourselves because humanity is being dumb fucks, even though we're the dumb fucks. Uh, so I don't know. I find that interesting that he's just like a pirate. So I appreciate that. He has some decent like ranged and some good melee, I feel like. Because you get like 5 attacks, wound like all your stuff is hitting on twos, and then strength 6. So your stuff's kind of hitting well, and then -3 AP for everything. So again, like damaging really well, and then 2 damage, 3 damage for its attacks. You got something decent here for like some fighting. And then its abilities, you get 1 extra objective control with whatever you bring in, for your unit. And then for the Prince of Corsairs, if your armies includes this model, after both players deploy their army, select up to 3 Eldar units from your army and redeploy them. When doing so, you can set these up in strategic reserves if you wish, regardless of how many units are already in strategic reserves. I think this is kind of nice because if you really like misplace like how you deploy stuff, you can always redeploy your units so then you can move stuff around, and I think that's kind of nice.
I think that's why this unit is 100 points. AJ says really nice. I think this is why this model's 100 points. You
Yeah.
basically get to deploy bait your opponent and then say, "Hey, fuck you." You're also able to go
hmm
over your strategic reserves like max, so you're basically able to deep strike a whole fuck ton of your army with this bad boy. So
You really
I
could.
just don't know what Corsairs do or the Guardian Defenders or Storm Guardians do. It's just interesting to see this go to Legends again. I don't really see why this needed to go. Um,
Yeah,
I
it's nothing overpowered. I think
yeah
it's okay.
yeah.
Mm.
No, I think the Prince of Corsairs ability is really fucking strong.
Ye-
Cause like
Yeah.
most of like what the fuck
Sorry,
is
go on.
this? No, go back. What the fuck was that? One more. I don't want to talk about this anymore. What is this?
This is also one we skipped over the top, but it doesn't matter.
Okay.
This is big guns.
Yeah.
This is the this is the orc model that I picked because one, it reminded me instantly of Leo's like little guys there.
Yeah.
And I figured Leo would appreciate this when he saw it. But this is essentially the fuck, I forgot now what the little orcs are called.
The Grots.
Yeah, the Grotz, thank you. This is a Grotz like cannon right
Yeah.
here. Like literally, it's called a cannon. That's what it is. Because you can choose between either to give it like frag, so you get D6 for blast and everything like that,
Mhm.
or you can just do like the regular heavy here and get 9 strength with it, or and D6 damage.
This is
Uh
you keep talking,
it's
AJ. This thing's
goofy.
fucking
It's
bro. Fuck
goofy.
that, bro. The zap gun, 1 attack, 6 up. Okay, these all hit on sixes, but this thing's got 2d6 damage. This is the gambler's delight. Why would I not bring 8 of these? Why would I not bring 8 of these to a game, bro?
This is again just the goofiest little thing. Again, I like it a lot. And plus, again, it's nice too because like its ability splat is good when it makes range attacks against like units containing 10 or more models. You reroll any hits rolls of 1, so you have a chance to actually maybe save like the roll if you get a 1 and it's that bad. But again, I like this. I picked this because it's goofy. It's silly. It's wacky tobacky.
Give me more silly goofy in 40k.
Give us more of the sillies. I want the sillies. Anyways, since we skipped over this because I jumped the gun, we're actually gonna go back now to the Tau Legend unit. Shasa Raleigh? I think that's how you say it. Raleigh? Riley? I can never pronounce
It's
like
probably
Tau names. They're
Shaso Ralai.
Raleigh. Anyways, because we can't pronounce this to save our lives. Shaso here, the picture that we have was painted by FN7307 on Reddit. Thank you for the paint job because this actually looks really gnarly like this and looks super different from like how it's normally depicted and how normally a lot of Tau are, suits look, because this doesn't look like a Tau suit, but it
Yeah,
looks.
you kind of missed it, but when I was helping AJ edit this, I was like, this doesn't even look like a Tau like model. Like this looks too. This looks like Gunpla, and then the paint
Mhm.
job makes it look like grimdark like Gunpla, and it's just like it's a cool fucking model and does not look like a Tau model at the first. Like the only thing that gives this away is like the plasma lance or whatever it's called, but like it, this is a cool fucking model.
Oh, absolutely. And I think it has some decent range on it because if you want to take a quick look, you could see that it has two different ranged options. It has one for EMP, which is good against anti-vehicle and has dev wounds. And even though that's one attack, one strength, it has 3 damage. And again, going up against vehicle with dev wounds is kind of nice, in my opinion.
Wait, why is it
Or
one
if you want to have
strength?
something right. Or if you want something with blast, you can do D6 attacks with 6 strength, and then -1 AP with 1 attack or 1 damage. So I think it's decent for its range. I don't know. I think its range weapons are good. Melee though, of course, sucks because it's Tau. It's Tau. Melee sucks.
I think this is a
I don't
fun
know.
model. I'd be interested to see why this got removed to Legends. Um, I understand why experimental pulse rifle, the EMP one is 1 strength, so because you have to get the dev wound to go off to stun the vehicle and deal 3 damage. I think this is a fine model. I just don't know what other Tau stuff does. Um, in correspondence. No, cool model. Disappointed to see that it's left.
hmm I do think it's nice because it has a decent ability. It has that Eclipse field generator. So you're getting a 5+ like invul save for all your units, that's leading it. I don't know if it's great. I think it's neat for what you're getting, and it's only 80 points, so it's not like it's heavy on the points like everything else that we've kind of talked about here. I don't know. I think it could be fun. Okay, but next up, after the big guns, we have one of your favorite models, Jordan, and our first Heretic Astartes model, the Gellerpox Infected.
First of all, my favorite
Yeah,
model is any of those 3D cult models of Tau women with big old milkers. Second of all, keep talking.
of course, you gooner. But I don't know. I like these. I think they're kind of goofy, fun models, and again, I think it's kind of cool. It feels still so odd that these aren't, Death Guard or Death Guard related, just because of even though these aren't, you know, technically Nurgle stuff. This is pretty much Nurgle adjacent with the Gellerpox infected.
Well, it's got the Nurgle keyword, so that's nice.
Yeah, that's true. You do get 7 total miles with this. So 4 of the Nightmare Hulks, which have 5 toughness, 4 wounds, or 3 of the Gellerpox mutants, which is 5 wounds, 5 toughness, 1 wound. And I think that's pretty fun. And you're getting you're getting some okay melee here. You're not getting much else though, I will say. When it
I
comes to actual what?
no, because I was looking at the points. I was looking at the stat line. Um, I don't think I would. So I would run these in my army, but I would replace. Oh, it's so hard, bro. Because these are 20-man breakup poxwalkers is 130 points,
Mhm.
and these guys move slow. All 6 up. Like these would just sit on my home objective the entire game. That's
They
kind.
probably
That's
would.
kind of what I would do with it. I don't see any way to transport these or anything like that. So I think these would just sit on my home objective the entire time.
They probably would.
I think it's a fine stat profile for a kill team, but definitely not surprised that these got put into legends. Well, I think all kill team. No, not all kill
No,
teams go into
because the
legends.
Night
Yeah,
Lord's kill team
yeah.
is in here as well.
As a Death Guard player, uh, not really too sad that these are in Legends, but
Right, right. I don't know. Again, it's interesting that again I like these models a lot, but I
no,
wish that
absolutely fun models, just bad stat profiles.
pretty much. And finally, we get to the Hellblade.
Now,
I will say,
any of the Heretic Astartes could take this motherfucker.
yeah, this is okay. This one's okay, I think. I think this is what like the Vampire Hunter. Like this is essentially a lighter version of the Vampire Hunter because it's 115 points, which isn't terrible. And you can give it, two different, like, two last cannons or two auto cannons if you really wanted to.
This is
But
just a better version of the Vampire. This is just a cheaper version of the Vampire Hunter.
yeah, this is the
The
cheaper light
Vampire Hunter
version.
has, well, the range is a little different on the Vampire Hunter. This thing is
Mhm,
missing like the little laser thing, but it's basically the
mhm.
same weapon loadout for like a fifth of the price.
You really are. But I will say otherwise though. This is kind of the downside with all flyers in 40K. There's not much else that you're doing because like you know, its ability is literally you add one to the hit roll for when you target other flyers.
Well, who's AJ? How many games of 40K have we played together?
God, I've lost track by now.
And how
And
many
let me
times
tell
did you
you,
bring a
yet
flying unit?
none.
Same here. I've played a lot of 40K. You know how many times I've played against a flying unit? None.
Yeah, pretty much, and that's kind of where the issue comes in. Is that flyers are a diamond dozen, or not even dime a dozen. This is just like such a rare thing that nobody really uses it. And though you'll get like some units that come in where it does have the keyword fly, like maybe the Helldrake comes to mind. You're not getting much else with the fly keyword. I will say like one day we'll probably have a discussion about this about like some of the stuff they should do next edition, and one of them is figure out what they want to do with fly.
Specifically aircraft. I specifically
Yeah.
aircrafts. Anything with 20 plus movement. As I said that, I realized I use Fotide Bloatrones, but those don't have the weird 20 plus movement shenanigans. That's what we mean by flyers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Oh, I take that back. I did play against the Great Eights player at our local store had a flyer.
oh yeah.
That thing sucked. Um, it's like T8 and my Plague Marine Meltas killed it in one turn. It was really fucking bad. It was at that 6K game we played.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Forgot about that.
Anyway, kind of a snoozer unit.
Mhm.
Flying aircraft units need to be addressed in 11th, which means
It
they're gonna
really
all go to
does.
Legends.
Please, no, I like the Helldrake too much
Why don't you run one in your CSM army?
because it's not good. It doesn't have a good data card this
Well,
edition.
just make up your own rules, bro. It's called Warhammer, not
Yes.
Rules Hammer.
Ooh.
Uh,
Anyways, though, that is the end of our presentation today.
huge.
Thank I would like to thank you all for coming. Thank you all for listening. And if any of you would like to hear another or see another video of ours about a sequel to Legends items, or if you want for us to talk about another Legends item, please leave it down in the comments. Otherwise, thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. And please enjoy Warhammer. Jordan, anything else you'd like to add?